Estamos aquí en el lobby de Dahua y me van a decir la forma oficial de cómo se pronuncia Dahua.
大华
¿Otra vez?
大华
Ok, gracias. Okay, let's start beginning. Hello to everybody, my name is Alejandro. I am in charge for Swiss IP Vision projects. Is a consulting for thermographic, the project that we need to develop and we are going to organize. It's 100% in the sea, at sea. So basically during my explanation I want you to take note about that. Later I can share you this content and video. And then these kind of details can also help me to suggest the appropriate equipment for compilance of this project. It's based on thermographic because it's at sea. And then at sea we understand, for example, that the visual effects and the visual surveillance is helpful during the day, and sometimes with the marine conditions are okay, it's not a problem. But most of the security happens at night with the thermal. And we are focused on giving our client on this project a solution in the night with thermographic. Low light and starlight solutions are welcome, especially based on these kind of things. I'm going to show you first what we did before, and based on that, in this step, where we are and what we need to focus in the next development. So far right now we are working in the visual area with a lens 10-1200 in ultra long range, and this is with a sensor 4 megapixel provider. I'm not sure the model, but it's a provider with a shooter 1 to 10,000 shooter, and based on this we can have detection, identification and recognition in the visual in a distance between 20 kilometers, which is like for us okay.
What was the target? Can I ask? What's the target?
The target on this for defending the areas, it's small boats size 2.3 meters size. Okay. And on this, let's say this is a little boat with 1 or 2 individuals inside from this side and more. The requirements that we need to work on that is this kind of elements. And because it's at sea, of course, I underline the need that we need to work with material that can be anti-corrosive. You know. And based on the visual, our platform, it's on beef. And we can do tracking, and we can do target acquisition. The target acquisition system consists of panning one camera in a scenario like that, for example. When the camera is panning, we detect the target in one of the area of the target, and then automatically we can coordinate between here to here the geolocalization of this target in the map, and then make the traceability of the object. That's target acquisition, and then in this kind, our software already does, and our software already is working on this. So,
you mean you have your own software to do this job?
We did, yeah.
We only need to.
I mean, we can combine,
okay.
And we can combine the platforms of your solution together with us. Okay. This is a solution not new. It's a 10-year-old.
May I ask, do you have such kind of projects, such successful projects?
It's going to be at sea for the petrol stations. Okay. And in target acquisition, what we have, for example, we know the position of the camera, we know the geolocalization of the element with the coordinates in north, seconds, and minutes. And then from there we know the distance between the security areas of the platform. Let's say this is the petrol platform. And now from here we have a security area. When the security area, the target cannot overpass. When the target, for example, is trespassing our security area by the panning system, we automatically have to detect the target, give a geolocalization of the target to coordinate the security of the platform, to coordinate and tell them, please come and so. Does anybody knows how this works? Like to do a new one again? Maybe here? No. I need to erase.
นะครับ我不知道这个我不太会用
Maybe, no?
pero ¿quiere borrar a todos?
No, borrar.
Todos.
Sí. Okay. Yeah. So far, for example, today in the marine petrol stations, what we have is the petrol station. We have an area of security. And this area of security, it's declared by some lights. It's called boyas in Spanish. They're giving flashing and alerts, so you cannot overpass in these areas. Like when the scuba divers are working in the place and so, you are not allowed to cross these areas. And then today, in the platforms that are with people, this is manual alerts. But some of them are not with people, they are no inhabitants, and they are small stations that there are living nobody. There's no people there, and we need to make automatic detections in our perimeter area of security for every target that is approaching to the place. Our software right now is available to do in the panning. Like for example, let's say one camera is here. We can do the panning from one position to the next. Then we put another one going to the panning in the other position, and then we can do by the panning. And as immediately as we detect the target, let's say here, that is overpassing the security area, we are making the geolocalization of the boat and making the tracking, ordering the camera to continuous zoom on focus. All right. The project for sure, because it's at sea, we are in demand to locate a 2.3 meters size boat in 5.8 kilometers. Johnson criteria only, because I think Dahua has a special.
Okay, Johnson criteria.
You have another one, no? In Dahua there's another one?
Compared with Johnson's criteria, we are higher.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm talking only about the Johnson criteria because our panning system can coordinate the tracking plus the coordinates. If Dahua has a better one, welcome. Very welcome. But in terms of thermographic, normally the sea level is around here, and the localization is about 30 to 40 meters high. All right? So between the sea level and the position of the cameras, we are 30 to 40 meters high.
46 meters.
Yeah, 30 to 40 meters, the highest, being the average in 30 meters. We can, in the sea level, we can go to the horizon based on that. Conditions for the sea sometimes when the ocean is a little aggressive or so, this is between 3 to 12 meters waves. Okay? So we can understand that sometimes we can see, don't see, don't see because of the marine conditions.
Yes.
Okay, for the visual chances for us to work on the visual, yeah, we are welcome. Right now we are in the place working with a double lens visual plus thermal, and the visual is 10 by 1200 millimeters in 4 megapixel, and the shooter gives us the chance from 1 to 10,000 in low light. But when there is fog and there is raining or there is a storm, the visual simply doesn't work. It doesn't work, it doesn't make any kind of the thing. And secondly, we also need to understand how are these platforms communicating between one to the next. Between one platform to the next, the shortest distance, they can go between 10 kilometers, 20, the longest 54. In this kind, for example, in the 54, the sea level doesn't allow you because you lose the horizon. But in between 10 to 20 kilometers, yes, you can have perfect view from the point of observation. But more than 30 and so, we don't have. But so far in this average, most of the structures are working on these distances. How are these platforms communicated? Alex is here?
Yeah, yes,
Okay, how are these platforms communicating between one? So let's say, for example, the petrol area is like this, all right? Just imagine, and then we have one platform here, another one here, another one here, another one here, and another one here. As I tell you, for example, let's suppose that this is with inhabitants. This is with people, and this one, number one, it's not, it's empty. Let's say another one here is empty, and this one has people inside. This is okay, this is okay. This one maybe is empty, and maybe this one is with people. What I'm saying with people is because we have communications and people sleeping and living. But in these zones, in those that are in the surroundings, there's any. The only chances that we can have for communicating between them are, it's from the coast. We join the first habitant by spatial radio communication, so we really appreciate the big compression to communicate with packages and alarm systems, so the communication between one to the next can accuracy coordinate the alerts of trespassing areas. Why? Because the communication between land to the inhabitants is satellite. And in this communication, it's okay, no problem to have any kind of bad wind and size of bad wind. But between one to the next, since there is nobody here, we need to have the highest compression system. I don't know if DAHA can provide us that, but we are working with a very low byte wind. Let's say between 1 megabyte, maximum 8 megabytes. So this is important, for example, to consider our communication in the packages of the alert that can go the lowest in bad wind. That means, for example, if we are locating an MBR or any kind of communication of the alerts, we have to make sure that we are working a very low bad wind, because the communication between one of the two are, I mean, if it is like a telegram or whatever, we have to make sure that the communication can go and compress, because there's no other ways to communicate, to coordinate the alerts. Okay? As I tell you one more time, the visual is already working and the results is good but not enough. And now we are focusing on making a combination and extension. The project initiative is between 14 plants to the maximum of 54. So in these kind of numbers, we need to start making a solution with the first 14. Once I can declare my associates that we have recognition under joints and criteria of 2.3 meters size of the target. Okay? I stop the recording.